Hello, everybody. It's Joseph Tyson, also known as Gay, and today is going to be the first lesson of how to play Gears of War. Alright, now I didn't start from humble beginnings, but when you first get into the game, it's going to show you what type of weapons we got going on. And, I mean, you have a wide variety of what you can do. Like close range, you got the Gnasher, which is what I got in my hand right now. You also have the sawed-off shotgun and the retro lancer. Mid-range is just regular lancer. And far range is hammer burst and Markza. So I mean, they're like, surprise, we're actually gonna put guns in this one. And yeah, here we are. So now everyone gets to change it up, as well as grenades, which is completely new. And with the grenades, you just use left bumper, you know, as I'm twirling it like some type of super awesome ballerina person. And instead of like having to switch to it, you can also stick them from a distance with the grenade. But you're not limited to one. You have stem grenade, smoke grenade, ink grenade, flame grenade, and frag grenade. And the beauty of that is you can start off the match, and if you have a group of friends or whatever, you can plan out your approach a lot better. So the first thing I'm going to teach you guys about, for everybody that knows how to play shooters, you might not want to watch this part, feel free to fast forward, is kind of how to get your settings straight. So first thing I usually do when I start to play a game is one of two things. If it's a game series I've already played, I definitely go and set my sensitivity, and all sensitivity is how fast you can rotate your character and look around. Kind of like the top screen, the black guy, and how fast I'm turning. I mean, the sensitivity makes the huge difference. So I'm going to pull up this screen, go down to my options, go to controller, and this right here is the 3 different sets. Now there's 2 different players out there. There's marksmen, and then there's people who are all about relatively like getting close. They're assault people. And based off of how you play is how you want to set up your sensitivity. Like if you definitely like to get up close, I like to turn up my look sensitivity higher. That's the first one. And basically that's just your basic character. Your target sensitivity is like mid-range. So if you like the Lancer, and you like to hold the left trigger to aim, and I'll explain that a little more, and you want to be able to turn faster, you turn that one up. And zoom is for snipers, like people who can actually like scope in with their rifle. If you want to scope in, you want to be able to catch people from further distances, you turn up that sensitivity. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll turn it up all the way on look sensitivity, and I'll show you the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to turn, and it looks like I'm going freaky fast. While it's twirling, I'm about to throw up, right? I mean, I'm barely doing anything, and it's making huge motions in comparison to like if I were to turn it back down to where I usually have it. And I start to turn. The world's not so fast, I don't feel like throwing up, and I actually have to like work hard to turn my character. But I'm a slower sensitivity type of person. Anyways, it's the first thing you want to do. So second thing you want to do is get an understanding of the weapons. Anything that's like further range, like the pistol, woo, look at that. I can scope in with, for one, and 2, you always want to go for headshots because it has a head modifier. And basically all that means is if I shoot you in the face, in comparison to shooting you in the body, the face hurts more. Okay? So that's one thing you want to keep in mind. And if you want to learn a trick that's easy to learn or to remember about headshots, is you aim for the head, and no matter what, you'll start to hit the whole entire person. So if you want an accuracy tip, that's my number 1 tip for you, is to start to focus in on the head. Okay, so let me explain the sheer basics of how this works. In Gears of War, it's been a similar pattern. Judgment, they changed it up a little bit, made it a little bit easier, and the number 1 thing you want to do is make sure that your spacing is 100%, okay? So when I get like stupid close to somebody and I realize I have a close range weapon, 9 times out of 10 I'm going to win this battle. So if you know you're going to be using a close range weapon, your goal is to get as close as you can to this person, because that's your thing. Like, you're not known for being a marksman with a shotgun. It doesn't happen. You probably won't even hit anything. So you want to make sure you get close. One big problem with Gears of War is sometimes the damage points don't work out so well. So what handy dandy Epic did is they gave you this little bracket thing. On the top is where you want the gun to mainly go, because the more on the top that you can get it and the crosshair, the more damage it's going to do. And all it's doing is it's displaying where the bullets go. You got 2 on the top, you got 2 on the side, and 2 on the bottom. So obviously if you try to get them right in the middle, it's not going to do as much damage as when you get the top brackets onto them, because you're trying to get as many bullets to land into them as possible. And if you do, it does a great deal of damage. Now you see it from far away, it doesn't do anything, but the beauty of shooting someone far away before you get up close to them is that it's surefire to kill. And that's the next thing I'm talking about. When I play the game, I always shoot far, get close, and try to kill them. And obviously that's not close enough. This is a close range weapon. You know, you want to get close enough to damage them. Thanks for that, Lancer Barry. Oh, no problem. Let's see. Okay, so let me get Barrett back into place. And that's the biggest thing that you want to remember is that every hit that you get counts. The more that you get used to shooting people from a distance, the better. Okay, so with the Lancer, which is going to be mid-range, number one thing that you want to do is keep in mind that it is mid-range. You don't want to get too close, because if you get close and you try to shoot someone, it doesn't really do anything. Look, he's still alive. Like, I have to put in a lot more work standing this close to somebody with the Lancer than I would a shotgun. Shotgun, I tap the trigger once. Lancer, I gotta hold the trigger for about 3 seconds, okay? So mid-range weapon, this is about a good distance, because the shotgun doesn't really hurt you, and a far-range weapon's scope is gonna mess them up. And basically what mid-range weapons are good at doing is it's good for suppressive fire and support. Okay, it's usually more of an all-around playing style, but that's the preference I usually use. And it's got a head modifier, so if you shoot them in the face, they die faster. Okay? Now, the last thing I'll show you, and I'll go pick that up, is it's a far-range weapon. Now, due to the simple fact that there's too many people in this world that like to be flashy and use a long-range weapon up close, I'm going to let you know now that that is one of the dumbest ideas you can do. And that you want to try to keep your distance, because hello, that's long range. Like, scoping in this far is not too bad, but you're mainly aiming for the head, because long range weapons usually do the best when it comes to head. Like, if I shoot you in the body with a sniper, yeah, it does a great deal of damage. Cole looks like he's gonna cry. He's got a tear in his eye. Life is rough. But if I shoot you in the head, game over. And that's what head modifiers do. It lets you know that once that face shot comes, it's over, okay? So, when it comes to a long-range weapon, you usually want to get a great deal of distance going before you can do anything. That's basically the whole type of premise with this. Now, the last thing I'll show you in this basic video is kind of how the aim and everything like that works, okay? So, there's a short, medium, and long range when it comes to your aim too, and that's the great thing about the game. And if you can remember that, you can know how to deal with different battles, okay? So I have a close range weapon with Cole, and basically you see how slow I turn when I aim in comparison to when I'm free? The further they are, the more you should aim, because you want your shots to be precise. But the closer they are, the more you want to keep it free, because if Barrett starts to move and I'm aiming like this, I can't keep up with Barrett and he's going to kill me. So I aim when he's coming at me or he's at a far distance, but I let go of the aim as soon as he gets close to me. And that should be with every weapon. You don't want to scope with a sniper rifle and you're this close, because he can move at any given time and you're not going to get anything for it except for a death. Okay? And it's the same thing for, like, if I scope in. The more I scope in, the slower it goes. And someone's in your face, you can't afford to be too slow. So, number one thing this lesson's about is knowing the scopes. Just remember, the biggest thing is that if you want to kill somebody and they're coming towards you, you aim. When they're finally in your face, you let go of the aim. Otherwise, if you try to blind fire from afar, you might get lucky like how I did, but if he's moving, that it's not accurate enough. You know, you want to be able to make sure that you're as accurate as possible, because it's cool to look flashy, but if you're not accurate and you're just moving around for no reason, then flashy's just going to give you a death. So, keep that in mind. It's a very basic lesson, the real basics of the game. And this is the only video that's going to be this really astoundingly basic to understand. Everything else I'm going to have more chemistry. It's going to make a little more sense. It'll teach you about teamwork. It'll teach you about how to better use the weapons, what the situation will look like, how to play defensive and how to play offensive. And I'm hoping for all the people that have never played the game, you start to check these videos out, be like, hey, okay, Gears of War is not as hard as I thought it was. It's a lot like any other shooter. And for the people who played the game and they didn't, or the people that already play the game, maybe you look at these tips and maybe some of this will help you out. I don't know. You know, just check it out for me. Remember, it's Joseph Tyson, also known as Gay, leader of Cross Armada, 6-time champion at 2v2s in Colorado, great dancer when it comes to video game characters, and hey, we'll see you around. Like the video, let me know what you think.